Welcome back everybody to the 1v1 Solo Mid Championships here at TI4. We've got our final quarterfinal in the 1v1 Championships. It's Ferrari 430 of Team IG up against Mushi of Team DK. I'm Gods. Joining me once again is Molini. Puck versus Puck for the fourth time and, well, the final time for a while until we get to the grand finals.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Mushi actually isn't well known for his mid mechanics. He's a very experienced and versatile player, and I view him kind of like S4, where he isn't usually the favorite to win his lane, but his mid game is where he really shines. And in this sort of game, there is no mid game. So
Yeah.
Ferrari, I think, slightly more
30
mechanically skilled, but
seconds to
both
battle.
these very, very experienced players. And I don't know how they're gonna match up versus Resolution next round, though. Whoever comes out.
Yeah, I feel like Resolution's all about the mechanics. Like, that's where he completely shined and took down FY. I think Mushi in his prime had some of the best 1v1 mechanics, but at least like looking back, like last year at TI3 playing for Orange and even TI2, but nowadays he's much more, like you say, more of an S4 style mid player. So we'll see. Puck versus Puck,
The
both
battle
players. I think
begins.
same item. Actually, no. Ferrari's gone Circlet, 3 branches, and Tangos. So probably will rush and Null Talisman with this.
Way older build. This is what you used to do
Yeah.
a long time ago. Actually, people rounded out with a salve as that last slot. But he will suffer in terms of damage. Only 57 damage on him. Mushi has 64. So that's 7 base damage. Well, actually, this
Ferrari
block.
just crushed the block.
But
though.
he blocked too much. Oh, it's right in tower range.
Not-
If Mushi
not
changes
quite.
aggro a little bit.
Ooh, goes Orb right off the bat, Ferrari. So
He
Makes-
knows he's going to get level 2 safely, though.
yes.
It's right under his tower.
With a block like that, and he's got the regen, so he can harass Mushi out of this lane. Mushi can't get a last hit. This block and the wave position is really working for his advantage. He's going to go high ground. He's going to pressure Mushi more. The phase shift on cooldown, Mushi. He's got to get a salve ASAP. I don't even think he goes Tengos. He may just go for a salve now.
Yeah, he is in actually pretty dire danger at this point. And the creep wave is attacking, the tower's attacking his wave, so that means it's going to be pushed out towards Ferrari's favor for the next couple of minutes. So Mushi will, in fact, bring himself a salve, and he just needs to do damage control at this point. He's actually not that far behind in terms of CS, though. Only 3 last hits behind Ferrari.
Yeah.
2 at this point.
Yeah, gets a couple underneath near the tower here, Ferrari. And Ferrari's had to use his mana to get these last hits. He's used 2 orbs already. He's sitting on 160 mana. Mushi's at full mana, so as far as the actual current mana status goes, Mushi's behind on the last hits. He's had to buy a salve, but he has the mana pool to use once he hits like level 3, level 4.
I'm still confused as to why Ferrari didn't just go for a Null Talisman and a Tango. He gets a couple more strength and a couple more agility, but I don't think it's worth it.
He could have done even more damage to Mushi, as well as maybe got an extra last hit or 2 with that build, I feel. But
And he pretty much has to get a wand very soon if he wants to pick up boots, and he's going to be cluttered in terms of slots very soon.
he's gone for the fast bottle, so that's going to come out here for him. He can bottle Crow, he can scout around for some runes here. We saw Dendi in game 1 against Arteezy use runes, pretty much prioritized getting these runes. He even bought Observer Wards early on, and may see Ferrari do the same with his decent early start here. He actually is starting to pull away on CS, 9 CS to
But he's
5.
out of mana.
Yeah. Bottle Crow away, maybe. He's got the career. No, he's going to go for the rune. It's going to be bottom lane, though, and that's a DD rune, so it's a big rune, but it's far, far away, and
I think he can get it, though. The creep wave is about to push into Mushi's tower, so
he may just orb this wave down and then go grab it.
yeah.
Probably worthwhile, especially you never know what you're going to get. DD, probably the best rune you can get as far as...
Regen's pretty good, too, especially if you're heading
Yeah.
levels, which he is slightly, but looks like Ferrari will indeed commit to bottom room. DD is really good, though.
Yeah. Well, Mushi missing last hits on the tower, unfortunately. Gets one of the 2 range creeps, and there we go. He'll get his DD rune. He's level 4, going for a 2-1-1. Mushi, similar story, 2-1-1. Generally, we've seen 2-1-1 openings, and then if you want to go for Waning Rift, you start at like level 5 and you get the second point and then max it later on. So we'll see if that's going to be the case or if they just look to max the Illusionary Orb straight up. Ferrari straight into the DD rune, and we saw DD rune from Resolution when he got his. He actually didn't put that much pressure on, but right off the bat, Ferrari goes onto the high ground, starts trying to zone Mushi out as much as possible.
Yeah, before level 6, though, it's pretty difficult to have a kill potential without having a significant lead in terms of CS, and Ferrari only 2 CS above Mushi.
Yeah, one of the more even 1v1s we've seen so far. Nor will get dodged there by Ferrari, nicely played, and We'll see if he can pull ahead
But
here.
in terms of tempo and pressure, it's all Ferrari though. Ferrari's been
Yeah.
the one that's constantly harassing Mushi. He's been getting the runes. He's been forcing Mushi to sit back when he's on low HP. So Ferrari definitely has the upper hand, more so than the CS would suggest.
Hits him with an orb here. Doesn't get dodged by Mushi, but both players going for the third point in illusionary orb, so not going to see any waning rift max coming out like Ice did, and Ferrari should get this siege creep tonight. So he's up to 18 CS now. 4-minute rune coming in once again. It's at bottom. Ferrari going to guess wrong. He doesn't actually miss any lower. He may miss this siege creep experience / last hit.
But he might miss the rune, which is the bigger deal. If Mushi sees him coming from top, he only has one bottle charge left. Mushi has to know that it's on bottom end.
Mushi's already bottle crowing though. He doesn't.
It's true.
He's not going to go for it.
Bottle as your mirror.
But it is happening as the lanes meet, so Mushi can get some free last hits and denies off of this. So you look at the actual levels. Mushi level 5.5, Ferrari level 5.5 as well, and that's with Ferrari like.
He's had bad rune luck though.
Yeah.
If they both spawn top, Ferrari's level 6 at this point.
And also probably is winning the CS, but Mushi's caught up on CS. He's actually now ahead with an extra couple of denies because of the rune luck. I mean, that's what. I mean, it's also the way Ferrari played. Like, he didn't have to go for those runes, but he rushed the bottle and really played around there, trying to get runes. Whereas Mushi said, "I'm just going to straight up bottle crow."
Yep, Mushi's taking a lot of damage here though, but his bottle is going to be returning. Ferrari popped his illusion rune right after that illusory orb hit, and looks like they are actually about to expire. Ferrari not going for boots, will instead go for a magic stick. Magic stick not terribly useful at night unless you actually have vision of them, and that's what the observer orbs are for.
Well, yeah. Well, Mushi I think saw him plan it, but like even though if you know it's there, it's not going to really change too much. You're not going to get sentries, you're not going to deward it. Mushi does orb down his illusions there and actually jaunts forward. Ooh, I think he just wanted to kind of catch Ferrari by surprise and also make sure he doesn't get Ferrari orbing onto him with a dream coil. So Mushi will, it's kind of in a weird way play it safe, but he'll rotate back in the lane and does need to be a bit careful if Ferrari has a dream coil available. Not going to go for it under the tower though.
Very unusual items coming out from both sides. Ferrari going with a casual gauntlet of strength, perhaps for a bracer in lieu of a null, and Mushi actually getting a casual ring of protection. No Sage's mask out yet, and I guess theoretically you could get Trinkles in this, but Trinkles is just not very good anymore, especially in this situation.
This time the rune luck does go Ferrari's way. Mushi got his bottle back and immediately ran bottom. He's not going to find it there, and
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Last hits experience at the middle lane, so Ferrari 430. Talked about the bracer. It is going to be completed now back at base, and he's even upgraded his courier to a flying courier. So Dire Side is flying. Radiant One's still a walking ground courier.
Still, CS is almost dead even though. 26 apiece, and I'm not even sure if you can dodge the illusory orb with level 1 phase shift. I don't think it lasts long enough.
I saw it happen once. I actually think Ferrari did it once. I didn't think you could either, and that's maybe one of the reasons Arteezy got the second point of phase shift, but I think maybe if you're like pixel perfect, you maybe could, but
it's pretty difficult to do so. The AoE on that is fairly wide.
Yeah. And as for the phase shift, level 1 lasting less than a second, so we'll see the CS battle continue. 28 CS to 29. Very even stuff from the two players. Ferrari with a regen rune in hand does have the advantage at this point because he can just spam out all this mana. He can do what he wants. Could have almost got, well, he doesn't want to go for a courier kill under the tower. That's probably certain death, but he just seems to be intent on tanking up right now. Not just the bracer, but the circlet on top of it, which kind of signals like he's getting either multiple bracers or a null talisman. All forward from Mushi. He actually did dodge the orb, and Ferrari will get pushed out of lane. Mushi can't go for the kill because of the bracer and the 5-1 charges though.
Yeah, I think he could have done a lot of damage there. 8-minute rune are going to spawn soon, and Ferrari, again, will have control of the rune with those nicely placed observer wards.
Like, yeah, that's what happened last time. He just guessed bottom, didn't get the...
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't really take a fight outside. Ferrari has 834 HP, Mushi only has 739.
Yeah.
He does have a little bit more armor, but with level 4 Illusory Orb, it's not going to matter that much. So if he's forced to a man fight outside of tower, I think that Mushi will lose, barring some fancy plays.
Alright, well, 8-minute rune coming up, going to spawn top, and it's a DD for Ferrari. He knows it's up there, and Mushi... I don't think he's even going to go check bottom lane. He'll wait to see Ferrari come back, and if Ferrari comes back empty-handed, maybe he tries to beat him to the bottom room, but he'll see Ferrari there soon enough with the DD, and that's slightly problematic. It means Mushi has to play very passively for the next sort of couple of minutes, or at least, yeah, he can't really get caught out by a Dream Call when he has Illusionary Orb or Face Shift down. He does ult forward. Is he going to jaunt forward? No.
Oh, he did dodge that time. It wasn't shot directly on top of him, though,
yeah.
But still, nice timing coming out from Ferrari. Or from Mushi, rather.
Yeah, the phase shift dodge is real. Wall back Ferrari. Actually gets hit by that one. No dodge coming out from Ferrari, but...
And no dropping bracers or circlets or any sort of strength item while Ferrari bottles. So, not the most efficient play, but
now he's dropping the bottle for the bottle throw. This is getting to the
it
stage
could get
where...
stolen right now! No. That would have been extremely risky. That would have probably cost him right there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like whenever you like jaunt forward, if you go for a career, like you get yourselves in a position where you don't have your orb and you're likely just gonna die to a Dream Coil. But both players now with upgraded career, and we'll see true bottle. This is like your actual late game 1v1 matchup, which we haven't seen in any of the games so far. What items do you go for? Like, what's your luxury item?
Bassy to push. Well, it's not necessarily a luxury item, but it's almost a necessity if you want to break the tower, if you want to win through that method. We actually haven't seen any tower even fall below like 60 or 70% HP, but Mushi perhaps thinking about the long term, going for the Ring of Basilius. Again, the typical options after Basilius Bottle and Boots, you can get Strength Treads, or you can get Treads, you can get Phase Boots. Thinking a little bit bigger, you can get Necro, you can get Yules, you can get Orchid, Dagon, HOD. All of these are viable items. I wouldn't even say that like Mech isn't that bad. Yules isn't that bad either.
Okay. Well, we'll see a 10-minute rune coming up. Mushi this time does get it going his way.
But he loses a lot of CS out on
Radiant's
the tower.
middle tower
totally
is under attack.
One creep. He's only going to miss one, it looks like. He can even orb this and get these last hits if he wants to. And actually doesn't need to even orb it. So he just misses one last hit. That's actually really good. Maybe some others under the tower, but at the end of the day, he got the experience for most of that. He's got the regen rune now. He's picked up a Robo the Magi. You talked about the treads. It could be the treads, or even something as big as an Orchid coming out from this if he really wants to go big.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the game will last that long for him to get used out of the Orchid. It's way too risky to aim for a 4100 gold item.
Yeah. And you're so squishy with Orchid. Like during that build up, you're so prone to getting ganked off. So. He does play it safe, buys the Gloves of Haste, and does have the treads now available,
So Ferrari has opted for the Basilius as well, so both teams equal in terms of pushing potential. Still leveling up that Waning Rift, and no treads yet on Ferrari. I fully expect him to do so, though, to continue along his lines of getting a lot of strength and taking up versus Mushi, but both players just look like they're very interested in getting CS, not terribly interested in actually going for the throat.
Very, very different to what we saw in the previous matchups. Arteezy and Dendi, it seemed like both players were in a rush to finish the game, win or lose. They're like, I'm just going to go for a kill. If I get it, I win. If not, I don't care. Ice, similar story. He got killed before the creeps even spawned in one game.
But here we go.
Ferrari still has the vision up. Uphill vision with that ward. Really paying off the coil. Oh, Waning Rip gets dodged. Really nice play, and then he jaunts out of there. Mushi's still alive. He pops the regen. He's going to turn this one around. Mushi's going to get first blood. What a play coming out from Mushi. That was huge!
Very well timed phase shift by Mushi. He doesn't dodge a silence, he dies.
I think, did he phase shift dodge it or jaunt? I think it was even the jaunt that
No, he phase shift dodged it and then jaunted it out, yeah. Very, very nice from him.
Play. He takes game 1. Game 2 going to be Queen of Pain versus Queen of Pain, and Mushi shows he's no slouch in 1v1 mid.
Indeed. Ferrari, I think, had an upper edge for quite some time, but one unlucky rune spawn too. Ferrari, if he misses that kill, he definitely loses.
If there was no regen rune there, like, Mushi still lives, but he's not going to go back in for that kill. There's the regen rune that allowed him to go back in. So Mushi takes game 1 in one of the more built up, more drawn out 1v1 matches we've had so far. But the end of these games always nail biters. Like, by the time one player feels they have to go for it, especially when you're even. Like, if the two players are even on CS and they're going for kills, it's because they both think they have the upper hand. And Ferrari, it looked like he did, but Mushi turns it around.
Yeah, I think Ferrari actually thought that he was behind since he checked so many runes. I think he thought that he was far behind Mushi when in actuality
and Mushi had treads, he did not have treads, I guess. He sees that.
The treads was really important. I'm very surprised that Ferrari didn't go for... He like didn't go for null, and then he went for a bracer, and then he didn't go for treads.
He even had the extra circler, which I think was maybe a mistake. I don't think you want to waste that extra 200 gold, so... Well, Mushi does it. He takes game 1, guys. We're going to go into game 2 in just a second. Stick around. I'm Gods, joined by Molini, and we've got the TI4 Solo Mid Championships continuing here shortly. That was a bit of a shock to me. We got game 2, Quat versus Quat, Ferrari versus
Prepare for battle.
Mushi leading 1-0, and another Queen of Pain versus Queen of Pain.
I guess technically you could just have it zoom out for a bit.
I could do complete hands-off casting. That was the great thing about that S4 versus Ice game 2 Quap. Like, once they started right-clicking each other, I'm like, I don't even have to have my hands on the mouse. Just sit back.
So let's checking out the cosmetics first.
What's before cosmetics? What is with Ferrari's item build? What is this?
It's not a bad item build.
5 branches? You're okay with it?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It's unusual. It's an older school build. There's a lot of older school builds that you'll see the older players go a lot, which is like the circlet, branch, tango. We saw Ferrari get last game, and then the mass branches into a tango. The only problem is it puts you at risk of falling very far behind in the first couple of minutes because you don't have that extra 4 damage, which may not actually sound like a lot, but it actually is, especially compared to what you get from getting 5 branches. So 5 branches actually gives you 1 less agility and 1 less strength and less damage, but it lets you get your bottle faster. So you have to just be very careful not to fall behind before the bottle.
Yeah, so this is just let's rush bottle, and you have got you've got decent stats here. So he's sitting on 549 HP. Mushi actually has more because of the 3 branches and Null Talisman, but Mushi's going to have to bring out Tangos and or Salve before the bottle. So okay, we'll see how things work out. Cosmetics, I had a little look. I definitely favor Mushi with the.
Well, Mushi has his own set.
He's got the red queen. Oh, that's his own set.
Yep.
Ooh, self-made. It's the self-made Queen of Pain.
And Ferrari already with a better block.
Yeah, on Radiant side too. Okay.
Too bad.
And
Shadow Strike.
Ferrari trying to harass him from the low ground. Not the best idea. He took a couple of last hits, so that will pretty much negate the regen advantage that he had in early game. He's going to have to use a Tango to seal up those 2 hits.
Far. Make it for Mushi. No, he goes for the harass instead. Gets a last hit off of this as well. They may trade Shadow Strikes again, but no, Mushi on the back foot. He's so low already that he doesn't want to have to trade hits even further.
Yeah, he really needs to be careful not to die in the next, I'd say, like 1.5 minutes. Did he bring over a Salve or a Flask? Looks like, or sorry, a Salve or Tangos. Looks like he's only Tangos too, so he's actually going to be deathly low in terms of HP, unless he can evade a Shadow Strike like we saw Resolution do versus FY.
Yep. Tango's now arrived. Both players can just heal up as much as possible. Ferrari, 500 gold already. He's all about getting that bottle ASAP right now. And he is behind. Even just being behind like 1 CS, 2 CS makes a big difference when you're so close to this bottle. If he had 2 more CS, he'd pretty much be at his bottle very shortly.
But he's much closer than Mushi is. What he is thinking about right now. And he'll get it probably a little after the 2-minute rune spawns. So we'll see how that turns out for him. Ferrari going for the 1-1-1 instead of the 2-1-0, and both players actually opting for that build.
He manipulates the creeps so well. Like the melee creeps hitting the range creep, he just pulls it to himself, so Mushi can't even go for the deny there. And watching the mechanics of these guys is just great. So 2-minute rune going to be spawning in 5 seconds time, and the bottle is going to be here for Ferrari. So could see some rune advantage coming into play fairly shortly.
Haste rune will be top, and Ferrari has much better control of the wave because he's always putting pressure on Mushi, so he can make the decisions. He can make the decision whether to harass him, whether to pull back, whether to check rune, whereas Mushi's like, well, I'm just trying to fend off the aggression from Ferrari.
Leaves his branch in the way for, and top rune's perfect because that's the shorter rune path to take. You can scout it a lot sooner, and Ferrari will get it right off the bat. So
I'm actually surprised he didn't blink for it. It would have given him like 1 more CS for it, but not a big deal.
He got an XP range for that last creep anyway, so experiencing Queen of Pain versus Queen of Pain is quite important because you want to be hitting that level 6.
Haste rune is really important actually. The regen is actually not that great because of the DOT, unless you can actually dodge a Shadow Strike. DD's pretty good. Say DD and Haste are definitely the favorite runes of this matchup.
Okay. Well, 11 CS to the 8 CS, but also 8 denies for Mushi, so he's got a decent XP advantage. Even just a couple hundred can make a bit of a difference as far as getting your level 6 ASAP, and we'll see what Ferrari does to kind of accommodate for that.
He could actually go for the bottle kill, and it's not that risky since he has a haste, so we'll see if he attempts that. Does Mushi have enough gold to upgrade? And absolutely not. Actually, when he bought his bottle, he didn't get any CS in between now and then.
That would have been something cheeky to do. I guess it's like a huge risk, and if you go missing for too long, like trying to go behind the tower to sneak it.
But if you get the 4-minute rune, you'll make up for the damage that you take for it. So it is risky, and it won't even guarantee.
I think he's using this haste rune to guarantee the 4-minute rune. Is what he's thinking. Like, I'll just make sure if he gets 2 runes in a row, and like Mushi, sure, I guess he can bottle Crow, but Ferrari's gonna guarantee himself a possible DD, possible illusion rune. Maybe another haste.
Yeah, it depends on how Mushi wants to play it. I think he can go scout for a rune from the fog, and Ferrari won't actually know which ones he's committed to, and then he can try and play it that way. In terms of CS, Ferrari only 3 lessons behind, a few denies behind, but not big
Mushi's
of a
going to
deal.
go guessing for Rune. He's guessed bottom, and it's going to spawn bottom, so... Ferrari, unfortunately, will not get... He pops his haste rune anyways to just get there faster, and Mushi will miss multiple last hits while he gets the rune.
I'm surprised they don't like blink around to do it. They're missing a couple CS still. Not the greatest in terms of efficiency.
It wasn't the best rune for Mushi. This is not a rune that's going to help him that much.
Especially not when it's sighted out by Ferrari.
Yeah.
If he uses it and has a level 2 Shadow Strike, he can get a lot of damage done for Ferrari's economy.
Great blows here. Mushi has the creep advantage. Ferrari will get forced back, so... Ferrari's bought his career out to do some bottle crowing, it looks like.
Yeah, and it's very, very close to him too. Or very, very close
This
to
Shadow
base.
Strike's annoying because Mushi can't use his bottle charges. But now he can. Wears off, pops his bottle charges. Gonna just... no, he's gonna stay invis. He's actually maybe gonna look to...
He left 2 bottle charges on the courier. Why not just leave 1? What in the world?
He wanted to stay invis.
He can still use 2. You can use like 1 and then use 1 like 1.5 second later. I think the fade time is longer than the recharge time for the bottle charge. But he didn't even use anything out of the...
And he just comes out of invis anyway, so...
So he's forced to get a salve, and he's falling a little bit behind because of that decision.
Alright, well, we'll see. Ferrari, he's hit level 6, has the Sonic Wave now available, and Mushi just 1 CS behind when he had like a good 4 or 5 CS lead earlier on in this 1v1 matchup.
Yeah, and with getting the rune, or having the rune lock on his side.
Alright, well, 6-minute rune going to be the next big point of contention. Neither player with any runes that they can use to help get them there, and neither player with Observer Wards either, which is something we saw from Ferrari in the puck versus...
He's buying it right now.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Mushi actually goes in. Both players have Sonic Wave here. Mushi not going to chase. Ferrari blinks out. He did not want to fight. Even with the 5 Magic Wand charges, he decides against it. Mushi had Magic Wand charges of his own, so... Ferrari plays it safe, and we'll see if 6-minute rune will go Mushi or Ferrari's way. It's going to go Ferrari's way at bottom lane. Illusion rune.
That's a nice pick-me-up for Ferrari, because
Yeah.
Mushi has to take less time to check top rune, and Ferrari knows that it's very difficult to contest that. He does have magic charges, but no
Radiant's
great
middle
regen, and
tower
Mushi
is under
forced a
attack.
bottle crow yet again. Both sides do have flying couriers upgraded, and now skill builds still exactly the same, 1-1-3-1.
And Ferrari also needed that because he just missed like 4 CS, like experience as well as CS in the mid lane while he got that rune. So he's still on par with Mushi, but it's potentially some farm that was lost there. So hey, he gets back, has an illusion rune. Not going to be a game breaker by any means, but hey, if you're going for a kill or if Mushi goes in on you, it's that slight little bit of extra damage, which could make a difference.
Yeah, and Ferrari's actually a couple bit ahead in terms of net worth because Mushi's actually bought a couple of salves, which isn't the best for the long term. It's great for short term because you can apply a lot of pressure if you're at full HP and you're not at risk of dying. But at the same time, you really want to be saving for null talismans, for treads, bigger items that will help you in the eventual duel to the death.
Alright, well. Mushi gets sentry wards, okay. He knows Ferrari, I think, put this ward on his high ground, so he wants to de-ward it.
Oh, except he's gonna miss the
he's got-
D-ward! Oh
just
wait, no,
gets it.
okay, he's so overall that's a economy win for Mushi. He
Yeah.
kills 2 wards, he spends 150,
Well,
gains 100 back.
He may only kill 1. I don't know if he's going to kill the other
that's
one.
true.
Killing the other one not going to be easy. They're going to battle this one out here. Mushi forced to blink this time.
Ooh, Ferrari canceled his Sonic Wave there, knowing that if Mushi doesn't blink, he is dead to rights.
And Ferrari with the 9 1 charges, that's another thing you have to keep an eye on, is how many charges your opponents has. Like, having more 1 charges than them can help turn the tides as well. Ferrari sitting on 9, Mushi just with 5 right now.
I'm surprised he doesn't drop his null. Like, these players they're not all about the dropping for
Mushi did
strength.
once or twice, but in general has not. Second Century Ward not going to successfully de-ward for Mushi.
Let's see if Mushi will get the rune, and
Dire's
no
middle
rune luck.
tower is
That's
under
tough.
attack.
Alright, well, we'll see him go back towards this middle lane, and
There will be an invis rune that spawns, and the problem is it's still... Oh, Ferrari fighting under tower, dodges the Shadow Strike. Okay, that's really good for him. And with the invis rune, he can actually maybe go for a kill, but you have to consider that Mushi does have sentry wards in the mid lane.
he's got enough mana for a Scream Sonic Wave with the magic wand.
Here's the line of sight, but doesn't even bother.
No. That's interesting. I guess he knows it. He probably assumed the Sentry Ward was more central. Like, he doesn't know where the Sentry is. Like, he's probably thinking, like...
Ferrari could go for a YOLO play right now. He could blink in, scream, and ult, and if Mushi doesn't react fast enough and blink, then he's dead. So, Ferrari looking for that opportunity to catch Mushi. It was a very small window, maybe about 7 or 8 seconds, but the opportunity has passed. Mushi has topped himself off.
Okay. He's back to full HP here. This is getting to the point where both players want to start tanking up a bit, I imagine. Like, get some Strength Treads going, get something just so you can survive the Scream plus Sonic Wave combo.
Yes. Strength Treads is, I think, by far the next most important item for either of these players. But still, Rune Control is more important than that even.
Looking at CS though, Ferrari's really pulled ahead. 41 CS to the 32 of Mushi. A lot of that does go back to the Rune Control, I'd say though.
Queen of Pain, Mushi getting the Belt of Giant Strength and no boots. Wow. So
more observe towards you talk about like Ferrari. I mean, Mushi wasting net worth on Sal's, but Ferrari's bought second set of obs now. So
yeah, but Ferrari, it's an investment. He gets more CS and
it's in range though. Mushi
doesn't have to regen. Oh,
dewarding it's not easy though. He needs vision, which he doesn't currently really have.
Yeah, he has to blink up the hill to get it, or walk up the hill, both of which are very poor choices.
If the creeps give him vision on the high ground, he could kill it from the low ground, but he needs the creep.
So Mushi guessing another rune. Is he going to get it? Rune spawns in just about 3 seconds. Mushi, oh no! Bad luck for Mushi.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, he'll get back towards mid lane, and he's got his career there though, so he can bottle Crow. Yeah, I imagine. He also scouted out the rune. That's the other thing there. His career was there scouting out the rune, which means he knows exactly what rune Ferrari gets. If Ferrari catches him by surprise with an invis or a haste, then you're in trouble, which won't happen to Mushi with the scouting.
So Mushi does not have the mobility advantage. He has no boost right now, but he does have the HP advantage. 891 compared to Ferrari's. Oh, actually, Ferrari
he just got his belt.
Yeah, he just got his belt too. So, but Ferrari has boost, so he's going to complete treads a lot quicker than Mushi. And Mushi again ferrying himself another salve very, very soon. So a lot of net worth has been dumped into consumables.
That's kind of surprising. Like, he's sitting on full HP. Do you what's kind of the reasoning behind just bringing more salves?
It's just in case he takes a lot of extra damage, which Ferrari has been doing. He's been doing a lot of stray damage now and then, and he just does not want to be in that sub 500 critical HP threshold that Ferrari will instantly burst him down from. That's you can't be in that. Just like this, he can bottle it up, but it's not going to be enough.
Well, he pops a salve, saves the bottle charges for now, and Mushi under a lot of pressure here. Even just a small rune like an illusion makes a big difference, because it means Ferrari has been dominating the CS for the last 60 seconds. While these illusions have been up, Ferrari's has been getting absolutely everything as far as CS goes. Not just the last hits, but a ton of denies just
Mushi's getting manhandled at this point, and now the tower siege will begin, and Mushi's been forced to play in a passive position for so long.
He's going for the kill maybe, or at least trying to push Ferrari back. Shadow Strike gets dodged, Ferrari going to turn around, Sonic Wave as well. Mushi's got 15 one-shotters, needs to pop, and Ferrari has 15 of his own. Sonic Wave is going to come close to getting the kill here. Mushi, Flame Scream,
wow!
5 HP! That was played so well by Mushi. That was like...
That was played really well by Ferrari. He blinked to
both.
dodge a Shadow Strike, and then he went back in for the right clicks.
Mushi almost turned that one around though.
Magic Wand saves lives for both of them.
That was quite the ending, I gotta say.
What a turnaround,
impressive stuff.
But I didn't know he was going to win that fight.
Well, Ferrari ends up surviving on 5 HP, so he cut that as fine as possible.
And he, like, barely got hit by the Sonic Wave. It was like the last 0.1 seconds of the Sonic Wave that clipped him at the end.
Well, Mushi's played a lot of Queen of Pain. He knows this hero back to front, and he gets taken out by Ferrari in the 1v1 tournament. If you told me Mushi was going to take a game of Ferrari, hands down would have been like he wins the Queen of Pain. The stream's gone down as well, apparently.
Prepare for battle.
Okay. Go. I don't know. Okay. This game just started. Hello, Dota TV viewers. Let's get in. Hello, Dota TV. Hello, Twitch TV. Hopefully, we've got Game 3 of Mushi versus Ferrari 430. Shadow Fiend versus Shadow Fiend. They go in the distance, and we'll see. We come out on top of this one. It is going to be Ferrari on the Diet side, Mushi on the Radiant. So far, Radiant's actually come out on top of more games than not.
Yes, and both players actually starting off with different builds yet again. I thought that Wraithband Branch would be seen in almost every single game, but not this one.
Ferrari going for the build we saw earlier from Dendy as well, which is the Wraithbrand and 4 Tangos.
That the more aggressive player almost always gets the Tangos too.
Yes.
And Ferrari, I think, is a much more aggressive player than Mushi.
Yeah, he's more likely to be trading. I mean, you go this build, if you're not trading hits earlier on, you're doing something wrong. So it also allows you just when you're pulling the creep aggro off away from the wave onto yourself, sometimes you take a bit of damage, so you want to have that HP regen there as well. So
Shadow Fiend versus Shadow Fiend, all about the first minute or so. If you can get a breaking lead there, you can just win the game straight up from there and control the rest. It's unlike the other matchups because there's no souls to speak of.
Alright, well, we'll check out the creep block for now. It looks like pretty good from both ends as far as what I can see here. Ferrari, though, on that dire side does have the advantage, but be actually slightly better for Mushi. Very small difference, but he is on his high ground. Where the mind games come in. Who's going to get these denies? Mushi gets the first soul, Ferrari gets his right back, both with the deny, so more about the souls than getting last hits or denies. You don't care which one it is, you just want souls ASAP.
Yeah, and here's already a playstyle difference in between the two players. You'll see Ferrari huddle way closer to the creep wave. I don't know why I can't draw on the river, and Mushi will rarely come up to that melee creep wave.
It is a lot easier to time those last hits when you're in close proximity, which is what Ferrari's thinking. Like, you can kind of bait your opponent with like fake denies if they don't know if you're going for it, because you're like in melee attack range, so.
Yeah, he's using the travel time.
Ooh, misses the last hit with the raise.
Mushi pretty far ahead in terms of souls, 5 versus 2 for Ferrari. But Ferrari, he does have the wave controlled on his side. But at the same time, he's 3 creeps behind already in terms of just actual creeps alive.
He just missed like 3 creeps in a row that he could have got. Like, Mushi missed the last hit and then he could have just denied it after, but he let Mushi like right click it twice in a row, so really bad start for Ferrari here. Mushi looking really good.
Yeah, Mushi does have more base damage, or he does have more damage. He does 2 more damage, and
but 2 damage is 2 damage. Like, that's not.
It really depends on how much Mushi gets from this creep wave. Because if he gets like 3 or more from out of 5, then he's gonna be really far ahead. But if he only gets like 1 or 2, then he's all good.
And both melee creeps didn't get the range ones. He's doubling Ferrari on souls. 12 souls to 6. They're gonna start trading raises here. Ferrari getting aggressive. Mushi's got Tengus out though, he gets him with a long raise as well, and Ferrari.
That's really good for Ferrari. He might have taken a lot more damage, but he forces Mushi to not see us under the tower. So it might have looked like a bad trade in terms of HP, but in terms of momentum, Ferrari had to do something to equilibrate this, to equalize this creep score. So he trades regen for denying him CS.
As for Ferrari, rushes a magic stick. How do you feel about this over going for the fast bottle?
It depends on what position you're in. If you're ahead, I say you go for bottle, so you can just keep raising out and keep trading harass. But if you're behind, and it might come down to a man fight, magic stick will be pretty useful, especially since you're very limited in the gold that you have to use.
Ferrari just being very aggressive with the extra regen he has. Popped this out just for a couple hundred HP just so he can trade hits, and he's gonna spam that C raise at Mushi from afar and try and bully him a little bit, but Mushi is...
Again, the creep wave is like right where Mushi wants it to be.
Yeah, he can just passively farm. He's got his bottle coming out already, and the 2-minute rune did spawn bottom. It's gonna be a regeneration rune, but I don't think Mushi is that interested in going all the way down there to get it, unless...
But if he gets that and then he gets boots, he can have the upper hand for at least the next 5 minutes, I'd say, because he's just not at risk of dying, and then he can always trade or harass. He has boots so he can bounce out whatever he wants to, and then just regen up and force Ferrari to suffer heavy damage economically.
They're even on souls. Max out at 16. Ferrari now gets his 17th as he hits level 4, and we'll see Mushi only 3 CS ahead, so he had a much bigger lead earlier on.
But he's going to get the regen.
Okay, so no boots just yet, but he actually goes Magic Stick instead for now, so... One thing to take a note of is Ferrari already sitting on 2 Magic Stick charges, so if you ever do go in for the kills, how many Magic Stick charges you have can make a bit of a difference there. Alrighty.
And Mushi is a little bit behind in terms of experience, just a tad bit though, and level 7 is really important in this matchup. Yes. I said level 9 is fairly important too, because if you man fight, the -3 armor makes a very big difference. Or if you want to go for Requiem with a lucky invis.
When you said level 9, I'm thinking, yeah, those YOLO Requiem of Souls is where it's at, but I think that was the famous FY versus CTY, SF versus SF that went like 30 minutes, won by a clutch Requiem of Souls.
That spell's really good.
We'll see right now, 17 and 11 for Ferrari, 19 CS, 7 denies for Mushi. So.
Oh, Ferrari actually committing to the rune. He doesn't have eyes on either rune, but will just commit to the bottom, and he will guess correctly. He will get an invis, and Mushi will have eyes on it. Mushi using his regen to try and tank a lot of the mid tower, but I do not think it's going to go down to a tower death. It rarely does in this sort of 1v1 format.
If your tower does get low enough, you just man up and have to fight him. So it's, I guess maybe you try and force your opponents into a bad spot by doing tower damage. But Especially considering there's Bottle Crow allowed. Once you hit level 7, you can double race and the creep wave's instantly dead. So to push a tower is a big ask.
It's gotten to that point where raises will dominate the creep waves and we'll rarely see Shadow Fiends in a range of each other actually to hit. But Ferrari will pop his invis. Let's see if Mushi is scared at all of this. If he gets the close range rage, okay, Mushi is scared.
Yeah,
as he should be.
Yeah, I think he knew there was an invis rune, and with that, he'll play back, and that gets Ferrari a couple free last hits, and also denies here. So you talk about just racing down creep waves. Normally, you don't get to see too many denies after like the first 5-6 minutes because of the max out raises, but. The man up, and actually Ferrari taking hefty damage here. Has a salve, and Mushi salveless on the Radiant side, so he's gonna have to Bottle Crow or bring himself out some more regen.
And Ferrari opting for the Observer Wards again. The only problem I have with Ferrari's Observer Wards is they overlap so much distance. Like this whole entire area is overlapped and double covered by the Observer Wards. I would have much liked him to see it placed over here, down the opposite side of the Radiant River, but at the same time he didn't really have a good opportunity to do so, and he will have control of the rune, so immediate payoffs.
I guess the two main objective is A, see runes, and B, see the high ground across the ramp. So end of the day there's overlap, but he achieves his two objectives with the runes.
Yes, he does.
So Mushi forced to Bottle Crow, and we'll see himself bring out a Belt of Giant Strength and some Observer Wards of his own. Last game he went for the Sentries, which I don't know how much I agree with the Sentry Wards. Oh, sorry, that was game 1 with the Pucks, but I like just getting your own Observer Wards up so you can see the runes yourself and know if your opponent gets a game-breaking rune.
And here we will see the builds start to differ. Brown Boots and then Wraithband and Magic Stick and Bottle are all standard. After this is where some people get Treads, some people get Phase to try and kite with Shadow Fiend, some people go Tranquils and Aquila for mass armor, some people go Mech.
I like the mech build. I've seen the mech build do really well in the
mech build is really strong in Shadow Fiend versus Shadow Fiend. You really do need the armor.
As things stand here, dead even more or less on CS, 32 CS to 31 right now, and Mushi already starting to tank up with the Belt of Giant Strength as Ferrari. His Treads not even, he's got the boots but nothing beyond that, so.
Treads is just so good for man fighting. The attack speed that you get from it is incredible in terms of
Mushi's actually ahead by like 220 net worth. He's actually, that's a decent lead as far as net worth is concerned, even though the CS is not in his favor. All that salvage coming out from Ferrari is going to put him behind by a little bit.
Yep, but still, he hasn't died. So that's good.
Mushi actually going to bring some salves of his own. This just means he can actually tank like 2 raises of Harass and then still come out on top. But he's going to get his wave pushed into his tower. Ferrari can do some good tower damage here. He can't contest the rune. He's got an illusion there, which Mushi is going to raise down, but...
Oh, and the rune doesn't spawn there. That's a big loss for Mushi.
Yeah, Ferrari's not even going for the rune. He's going to fight Mushi. Mushi's going to get zoned out, and Ferrari can get the rune.
Mushi doesn't have boots.
Tower damage. This could be game over. He's got Wand, he's got Salve, he's going to maybe salve on the high ground. Is there going to be raise? He's going to hide fog him, he turns around, he jukes him, Mushi can get out of there, but he's still got no boots. Has a Wand, he's going to turn and raise, double raise, long raise is there. Oh, he misses one, gets him in the end. Ferrari 430 wins the SF vs SF battle there. Brown boots coming into play.
Yeah.
What was that career? The career was sitting mid. Didn't have boots on it though.
Shadow Fiend has his Belt of Strength. I think he actually should just stand his ground at that point, because if he doesn't, he's gonna either have to take the long way around and lose out on a lot of economy, or he's just gonna die like that.
Yeah.
So I think if you get Belt of Giant Strength, you have to hold your ground. If you get boots, then you have more options.
He even had the salve as well, so he could have. He had the option to heal up after that. Ferrari himself did not even have a salve. Mushi tried to actually salve him between some last hits. It looks like there.
But again, Mushi did get unlucky with the rune. Had the 8-minute rune spawn on top and been a half useful rune, things would have gone a lot different.